Imagine a team with a quarterback room in disarray, a pass-catching group that's dropping more balls than it's catching, and a run game that's still trying to find its footing. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns, where the only constant is change. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite all the uncertainty, there are some bright spots on the horizon. Let's dive into the latest stock report and see who's rising to the top and who's falling behind. Stock up, Joe Flacco. The 18-year veteran quarterback has been sharp for 2 weeks, and it's clear he's developing an improved sense of timing with his teammates, especially Jeudy. With Kenny Pickett still recovering from a hamstring injury, Flacco is poised to win the Week 1 starting quarterback job. And if the Browns are going to steal a couple of wins in the early part of their schedule, they're going to rely on Flacco's cannon arm to fling it deep. But here's the thing. Joint practices are real work versus unfamiliar opponents, not for style points. And after the Cleveland #1 offense didn't score a single touchdown in Wednesday's practice, that unit scored 5 on the Eagles Thursday. 2 came on trick plays, and most of them were in red zone settings. But Flacco threw with confidence. And this is the part most people miss. Flacco's success isn't just about him. It's about the team's overall strategy. With a cloudy future at the quarterback position, the Browns need to rely on their veteran leader to guide them through the early part of the season. Stock down, the overall state of the quarterback room. Pickett said after Thursday's practice that he's better, but still not sure he'll be cleared for full action next week. Shedeur Sanders is out for at least the next few days, and potentially the rest of the preseason, with a strained oblique. No one knows who's starting Saturday's backups versus backups preseason game, because Dillon Gabriel has been held out of some practice drills due to hamstring tightness. It's a mess, folks. No real competition for the starting job ever developed, and though Pickett's absence pushed Gabriel up the camp depth chart, the third-round rookie doesn't exactly enter the weekend with momentum based on how he's played. 3 of Gabriel's best throws in Philadelphia were dropped, and throughout camp, he struggled with accuracy. Sanders never got to build on his impressive performance in the preseason opener, and never played with the #1 offense in the spring or summer. Stock up, Jeudy and Harold Fannin Jr. Jeudy's flashes in his first season with the Browns were ultra-impressive, and he's shown in recent weeks an ability to get to where Flacco needs him to be. Fannin is ahead of schedule, even if coach Kevin Stefanski won't directly say it. And after the rookie tight end dropped a touchdown pass from Flacco on the second play of practice Thursday, Fannin responded by catching the next one, and later scoring again on a deep corner route from Gabriel. Fannin is going to line up all over the formation, and he's absolutely going to be involved in the offense. The question is, can the rest of the pass-catching group step up their game? Stock down, the rest of the pass-catching group. Drops were a problem over both joint practice days with the Eagles, and not just by 1 or 2 players. The touchdown to Fannin was Gabriel's only completion of Thursday's shortened practice. On the following play, Gabriel threw a perfect pass over the middle to Deontay Johnson, but Johnson bobbled it, and it ended up as an interception. David Njoku caught a touchdown pass from Flacco on Thursday, and we know the tight end will be involved once the real games begin. But there's just no way the Browns can feel good about their overall receiving group, or the fact that, right now, the only roster locks at the position are Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, and Jamari Thrash. Johnson's opportunities with the starters have been limited and rather forgettable. Finding at least one external upgrade at wide receiver has to be a priority, even if the Browns' decision-makers believe undrafted rookie Gage Laverdane should make the 53-man roster. Stock up, the pass rush. For 2 days, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts was greeted by orange helmets on almost every drop back and rollout. Myles Garrett led the charge, but it was clearly a good week for the Browns' entire defensive front. Young defensive ends Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire have impressed this summer, too, and first-round pick Mason Graham also showed up in the Philadelphia backfield multiple times. The Browns have real depth in their edge rush group, with a superhuman at the front of it. Stock down. The back seven defensive depth. This is nitpicking, and this problem isn't unique to the Browns. Let's also make clear this is about the second and third waves, not the first. Cornerback Denzel Ward's big summer continued as he was outstanding on both joint practice days versus the Eagles. But Cleveland has been in scramble mode since Jordan Hicks' retirement and Martin Emerson's season-ending injury. Starting cornerback Greg Newsome II has been a limited participant, and that's moved young players like Cameron Mitchell and Miles Fannin up to basically full-time duty with the starters. Players like second-year safety Chris Edmonds, second-year linebacker Winston Reed, and undrafted rookie cornerback Dom Jones are in the mix for roster spots and just outside the mix for actual playing time. All have chances over the next 8 or so days to keep the team from prioritizing potential outside options. Not sold yet, either way. The Browns fixing their run game was an obvious off-season priority. But second-round rookie Quinshon Judkins remains unsigned and has been away from the team in the wake of a July 12 domestic violence arrest. There had been no update on the case in weeks before Thursday afternoon, when prosecutors announced that no formal charges would be filed against Judkins. In Judkins' absence, the clear lead runners have been Jerome Ford and fourth-round rookie Dylan Sampson. Though it's notable that Sampson was first up in the first drill with the starters in both Philadelphia joint practices, the Browns do rotate skill players frequently. It's hard to gauge a lot of runs without full tackling, but one of the ideas of taking on quality competition in joint sessions is working on a full-speed run game against a different defensive front. At times, so I asked Pro Bowl guard Joel Bitonio after Thursday's practice about the state of the rushing attack. It's hard to tell in the practice where you're not tackling, Bitonio said. I think the couple times we've been live in our camp, there have been some good things. We know the Eagles' defense is a great run-stopping defense. They've done some really good things. Obviously, they're the Super Bowl champs, but there were some good moments for us. We had some good pops. Usually, when you struggle with the run game, there's one player that misses a block or something, and it looks bad. But for the most part, I think it's coming along, and I think we're getting to a good point. I'd expect the Browns to be in a lot of multiple tight end sets, and at least for the start of the season, I'd expect a Ford-Sampson timeshare setup. There's no immediate clarity on when Judkins might sign and join the Browns, or if he still faces potential NFL punishment. Final thoughts. We all got a good chuckle out of injured Eagles offensive lineman Landon Dickerson carrying a cooler onto the field at the end of Thursday's practice and handing out cans of Miller Lite to both his teammates and a group of Browns offensive linemen. I thought it was a nice gesture, Bitonio said. After 2 days of fully padded practices in temperatures above 90, Bitonio joked that he thought Dickerson was passing out Gatorades. The best chuckle of the day, though, came about 40 minutes earlier, with both teams going through a special teams drill. Garrett stood down near one of the end zones without his helmet. He was approached by NFL Network's Brian Baldinger, and the two were having a conversation while Garrett used a goalpost pad to help stretch himself out. But as the conversation and the stretching went on, the drill ended. Several people on the Browns sideline called out for Garrett, but he was still chatting with Baldinger. As the Browns' number 1 defense took the field, Maguire was inserted at Garrett's usual right defensive end spot. Finally, someone got Garrett's attention. Garrett grabbed his helmet and jogged almost 50 yards toward where the next drill was being set up. Garrett waved Maguire off the field as Hurts kept the Eagles from fully lining up until Garrett was ready. Not long after Garrett got in his stance, he flinched and got Eagles left tackle Jordan Mailata to jump. A false start was called, and everyone got to reset before the drill began. In just a few seconds, Garrett went from unaware the play was starting to drawing a penalty because of his impact on the field. It wasn't quite as impressive as jumping over the line to block a field goal as he pulled off last time the Browns were here, but it was a reminder of the way Garrett can disrupt things. Now it's your turn. Do you think the Browns have what it takes to turn their season around, or are they doomed to struggle with their current quarterback room?